The entertainment industry operates on a very specific set of unwritten rules. You build the brand, you secure the bag, and you protect the family image at all costs. But the moment Katt Williams sat down on that couch, he didn't just break the rules. He burned the entire playbook down to absolute ashes. What started as a standard industry feud over stolen jokes and late-night television slots has officially mutated into something far more dangerous. The internet is currently losing its collective mind over a highly explosive shift in this narrative, one that doesn't just threaten Steve Harvey's career, but aims directly at the foundation of his entire multi-million-dollar empire. We are talking about the sudden, aggressive resurgence of allegations that completely bypass the standard cheating rumors and head straight into a much darker territory. Rumors suggesting that Marjorie Harvey's past isn't just unconventional, but that it aligns with high society escort circles from years ago. It's a narrative that has allegedly pushed Steve Harvey entirely over the edge, causing a behind-the-scenes meltdown that insiders claim is unlike anything we've seen from the media mogul before. Did Katt Williams just accidentally pull the final thread that unravels the entire Harvey legacy? Are we witnessing the real-time destruction of a carefully curated Hollywood illusion? Steve Harvey is reportedly losing his absolute mind right now, and honestly, can you even blame him? The lines haven't just been crossed anymore. They have been completely erased. The absolute chaos happening behind the closed doors of the Harvey estate right now is reportedly reaching a fever pitch. To truly understand the sheer magnitude of this explosion, we have to look closely at the exact players involved and the heavy baggage they carry into this arena. Steve Harvey has spent the last 2 decades carefully rebranding himself from a raw, unfiltered stand-up comic into America's ultimate relationship guru and clean-cut family man. He wrote the best-selling books, he hosted the daytime shows, and he constantly used his marriage to Marjorie as the absolute blueprint for love, redemption, and financial success. He repeatedly told the world that she saved his life, that she was his ultimate prize, and that his entire empire was built on the foundation of her love. But when you build an entire commercial empire on the narrative of a perfect, miraculous romance, you open the door for the entire structure to come crashing down the moment someone challenges that narrative. Enter Katt Williams, a man who has made it his absolute mission to dismantle the carefully constructed illusions of Hollywood's elite. When Katt sat down for that now legendary interview, he didn't just throw standard comedic shade. He dropped highly calculated, deeply coded phrases that were specifically designed to make internet sleuths start digging into the past. The primary target of this digital excavation is, of course, Marjorie Harvey, a woman whose entire public persona has been defined by extreme luxury, high-fashion runway shows, and an almost complete silence in the media. Katt pointed out that in 20 years, she has never given a real, unfiltered interview. In the world of investigative commentary, silence isn't just golden, it is highly suspicious. It makes the public ask the one question that public relations teams dread the most, which is exactly what are they trying so desperately to hide from the world? The controversy intensified exponentially when the internet stopped looking at the current version of Marjorie Harvey and started looking at her historical timeline. The public records already did the heavy lifting before any modern rumors even started circulating. Marjorie's past marriages to prominent figures in the criminal underworld of the 90s are a matter of public record. When your history involves federal investigations, massive asset seizures, and marriages to men serving life sentences in federal prison, the public is already conditioned to believe the absolute most dramatic theories about your origins. Katt Williams knew exactly what he was doing when he tapped into that specific history. By using the phrase, signing up for the program, he wasn't just talking about a marriage. He was hinting at a highly exclusive, underground network that operates within the highest echelons of wealth and power. The internet immediately translated this as an insinuation that Marjorie's rise to prominence wasn't a coincidence, but rather the result of her alleged past involvement in elite, high society escort circles that cater specifically to wealthy, influential men looking for a specific type of companion. This specific allegation is what caused Steve Harvey to completely lose his composure. For a man who prides himself on being the ultimate authority on relationships, having the public openly discuss his wife as a managed industry asset is the ultimate humiliation. Insiders claim that the moment these specific rumors began gaining traction on digital platforms, the mood inside the Harvey camp shifted from annoyed dismissal to absolute panic. This wasn't just another internet rumor that would blow over in 48 hours. This was a direct hit to the credibility of the entire Harvey brand. The bad reputation that has suddenly attached itself to the couple isn't just based on Katt's words alone. It is fueled by a long history of public skepticism regarding how their relationship actually began. The official story is that they met at a comedy club in 1990, and Steve allegedly told her on the spot that he was going to marry her. But the timeline has always raised massive red flags for anyone paying close attention. In 1990, both Steve and Marjorie were already married to other people. Steve was navigating his own domestic life, and Marjorie was deeply entrenched in her marriage to a notorious underworld figure. This overlapping timeline has led to years of whispered allegations regarding infidelity, secret meetings, and a relationship that was built on a foundation of deception long before it was ever legitimized in 2007. When you add the new high society escort rumors to this already messy timeline, the narrative becomes incredibly toxic. It paints a picture of a relationship that wasn't born out of a fairy tale romance, but rather a strategic alignment between two people who understood exactly how to manipulate the media to project an image of wealth and respectability. The suspension and tension surrounding this situation are growing thicker by the day, because Steve Harvey's traditional methods of damage control are completely failing him. Usually, a celebrity of his stature can rely on mainstream public relations firms to bury a story, issue a standard legal threat, or divert attention with a highly publicized charity event. But the digital space operates entirely outside of mainstream control. Viral commentary channels, independent researchers, and aggressive content creators are refusing to let the story die, forcing the public to look at every single past incident through a brand new, highly critical lens. Every single past controversy involving Steve Harvey is now being dragged back into the light to support the theory that his public persona is a complete sham. People are pointing back to his bitter divorce from his second wife, Marjorie Harvey, who publicly accused him of emotional abuse, financial manipulation, and severe infidelity. At the time, Steve managed to win the legal battles and silence much of the narrative, but the public memory is long. Now people are looking at those old accusations and wondering if Mary was actually telling the truth about the true nature of Steve's character all along. The narrative has intensified to the point where even Steve's closest business associates are reportedly questioning how to navigate the fallout. When you are a multi-million-dollar corporate entity, your value is entirely tied to your reputation. Major networks, corporate sponsors, and international brands do not want to be associated with a man whose personal life is being dragged through allegations of underworld connections and high society escort rings. The financial stakes are incredibly high, which explains why the reaction from the Harvey camp has been so incredibly volatile and desperate. The psychological toll on Steve Harvey is becoming increasingly obvious to everyone who watches him. He is a man who is deeply accustomed to being the loudest, most respected voice in any room he walks into. He commands authority on the Family Feud stage, he commands authority on his radio show, and he expects absolute compliance from his audience. To suddenly find himself the laughingstock of the internet, with millions of people analyzing his wife's past and mocking his domestic situation, is a reality that he was completely unprepared to handle. This brings us to the shocking behind-the-scenes reports that are currently leaking out from individuals close to his production teams. The polished, smiling television host that the public sees on a daily basis is reportedly entirely different from the man who exists when the cameras stop rolling. The pressure has created an environment of extreme paranoia and anger, with Steve allegedly demanding to know who is leaking information, and why his team hasn't been able to completely erase these viral videos from the face of the internet. The drama is further compounded by the fact that Marjorie herself is reportedly furious about the resurgence of these specific rumors. For years, she has enjoyed a lifestyle of absolute privilege, traveling the world, attending elite fashion weeks, and being celebrated as a style icon. She managed to completely distance herself from the chaos of her early life, successfully transforming into a high society matriarch. But Katt Williams effectively shattered that illusion with a single monologue, dragging her past right back into the present and forcing her to confront a narrative she thought she had buried decades ago. The public is now watching this play out like a real-time Hollywood thriller, waiting anxiously to see what the next major revelation will be. The rumors are no longer confined to the fringes of the internet. They are driving the mainstream conversation around celebrity culture and the dark realities of image management. This is no longer just a comedic feud between two veteran entertainers. It is a full-scale battle for reputational survival, and the foundation is cracking fast. The digital space is currently flooded with deep-dive analyses, breakdown videos, and intense debates about what truly happens behind the closed doors of the Harvey mansion. Fans and critics alike are picking sides, with an overwhelming number of people leaning toward Katt Williams' version of reality, simply because it aligns so perfectly with the inconsistencies in Steve's own public timeline. The tension is reaching a critical breaking point, and the rumors are about to get even more specific as we dive deeper into the alleged evidence and public reactions that are currently pushing this entire scandal into an entirely new phase of absolute chaos. The digital floodgates have officially burst open, and the internet has transformed into a virtual war zone filled with alleged receipts, deep-dive investigations, and highly damaging public reactions. As the narrative transitions from mere speculation into a detailed breakdown of the scandal, independent researchers are combing through public records, old legal documents, and anonymous industry submissions to piece together what they claim is the hidden reality of the Harvey empire. The sheer volume of content being produced on this topic is staggering, with millions of viewers tuning in daily to watch the latest breakdown of what is being described as Hollywood's most heavily guarded secret. According to various unverified digital reports and whispered insider accounts, the fury behind the scenes at the Harvey estate isn't just about the words Katt Williams spoke, but about the wave of anonymous leaks that followed his interview. Several online commentary platforms have highlighted alleged memos and leaked communications from mid-level public relations staff indicating that the couple's legal team has been working around the clock. The reports suggest that desperate attempts were made to send cease and desist letters to smaller content creators, but the sheer size of the viral wave made it absolutely impossible to contain the spread of the Escort narrative. The breakdown of these rumors gets incredibly specific when looking at the alleged lifestyle Marjorie Harvey maintained during the transition periods between her high-profile relationships. Online sleuths have pointed to what they call patterns of lavish spending, mysterious funding sources, and international travel that predate her marriage to Steve. In these digital deep dives, commentators are examining old photographs, social registry listings, and elite event attendance records to argue that Marjorie was moving in circles that were far beyond the financial reach of a standard civilian, fueling the theory that she was part of an elite, managed network of high society companions. To make matters worse for the couple, the internet has dug up imaginary and anonymous quotes allegedly coming from individuals who claim to have worked within the high-stakes entertainment industry during the late 90s and early 2000s. One widely circulated blind item quote, attributed to a retired celebrity fixer, claimed that certain beautiful women were strategically placed at high-profile corporate retreats, private yacht parties, and exclusive sporting events to cater to wealthy executives and rising stars. The implication that Marjorie's presence in these exact locations wasn't a coincidence has completely electrified the commentary space. Public reactions to these breakdown videos have been overwhelmingly cynical, with audiences completely turning on Steve Harvey's established persona as a relationship expert. Section after section of the comment fields on major video platforms are filled with fans mocking his famous advice books. People are openly asking how a man who claims to know exactly how a woman thinks could allegedly be completely oblivious to, or a willing participant in, the strategic management of his own wife's public image. The laughter from the audience is no longer lighthearted. It has taken on a sharp, mocking edge that is actively damaging Steve's commercial appeal. The narrative took an even more bizarre turn when digital investigators began linking the Escort rumors back to the infamous leaked audio clip involving Steve's longtime morning show co-host, Shirley Strawberry. While Shirley publicly apologized for the leaked phone call, where she discussed the internal dynamics of Steve's home, internet commentators are refusing to let the matter rest. They are reanalyzing every single second of that audio, arguing that her description of Marjorie looking down on staff, and controlling the household environment perfectly matches the behavior of someone who is fiercely protecting a hidden status. The public analysis has descended into a detailed look at how power and control are allegedly distributed within the Harvey marriage. The prevailing theory among viral commentators is that Steve is not the dominant figure in his own home, despite his booming television persona. The rumors suggest that behind closed doors, there is an intense atmosphere of tension and walk-on-eggshells behavior, with Steve reportedly terrified of any action that could cause Marjorie to walk away with a massive portion of his hard-earned fortune, which is estimated to be well north of $200 million. The exaggeration and dramatic breakdown of their daily life have reached comedic proportions, with digital creators visualizing the Harvey mansion as a high-security fortress, where public relations strategies are drafted like military campaigns. Rumors are circulating that the couple has instituted strict non-disclosure agreements for all household staff, chefs, security personnel, and even distant family members in a desperate bid to prevent any further leaks. Every time a luxury car is seen leaving the property, or every time Marjorie posts a seemingly innocent photo on social media, the internet dissects it for hidden meanings and signs of marital distress. What makes this breakdown so incredibly damaging is that it directly addresses the concept of an industry package deal that Katt Williams originally introduced. Commentators are arguing that in exchange for absolute discretion, elite companionship, and a perfectly curated public image that elevated Steve from a traveling comedian to a dignified global brand, certain conditions had to be met. In this version of the story, the lavish spending, the millions of dollars spent on designer clothes, and the complete lack of media interviews are not just perks of being a wealthy wife. They are the literal terms of a lifelong contract. The digital audience is completely hooked on this concept of a managed Hollywood contract, drawing parallels to other high-profile celebrity marriages that ended in spectacular public meltdowns. The commentary emphasizes that when a relationship is built on transactional terms rather than genuine connection, it becomes highly vulnerable to external exposure. Katt Williams is being viewed by the public not as a reckless liar, but as a fearless whistleblower who decided to expose the transactional nature of the industry's most celebrated power couple. The backlash is also bleeding into Steve Harvey's professional relationships with other comedians and industry veterans. Reports are surfacing across the digital space that behind the scenes, fellow entertainers are quietly distancing themselves from Steve, refusing to publicly defend him against Katt's onslaught. In the comedy world, respect is everything, and the accusation that Steve lifted material from Mark Curry combined with the current dark rumors about his marriage has made him a highly toxic figure to associate with in public. The public reaction has shifted from standard celebrity gossip into a massive cultural debate about the illusions of success and morality projected by media elites. Viewers are expressing a profound sense of exhaustion with celebrities who lecture the public on values, hard work, and faith, while their own personal lives are allegedly mired in underworld connections, strategic image manufacturing, and hidden pasts. Steve Harvey, who built his entire late career brand on being an authentic, God-fearing mentor to the masses, is facing the ultimate crisis of hypocrisy. The absolute lack of a definitive, aggressive legal response from the Harvey camp is being interpreted by the public as a silent admission of guilt. Commentators are pointing out that for a billionaire with access to the most powerful lawyers in the world, Steve has been remarkably quiet on the legal front regarding Katt Williams. Instead of a massive defamation lawsuit, the public has only received brief, emotional statements on podcasts and radio shows, which viral analysts claim is a clear sign that the Harveys are terrified of the discovery process that a lawsuit would trigger. The digital space is now waiting with bated breath for the next phase of this escalating disaster. The breakdown of the scandal has established a solid framework of suspicion in the minds of millions of viewers, and the momentum is entirely against the Harvey brand. The constant drip feed of new theories, anonymous allegations, and historical timeline analysis is creating a snowball effect that is completely flattening Steve's public relations defenses, setting the stage for even more severe consequences. The narrative is moving rapidly toward a discussion of the actual fallout, structural damage, and potential legal or financial crises that this massive loss of public trust could trigger for the Harvey empire. The whispers are getting louder, the independent investigations are getting more sophisticated, And the corporate sponsors who back Steve's multi-million-dollar contracts are reportedly watching the digital space with an increasing sense of absolute dread as the controversy continues to spiral completely out of official control. The momentum of this controversy has officially pushed the Harvey empire past the point of simple public relations management and straight into a full-scale structural crisis. As we transition into the actual fallout and consequences of this digital explosion, the conversation is no longer just about hurt feelings or internet memes. It is about cold, hard financial metrics, corporate contracts, and the survival of a multi-million-dollar media machine that depends entirely on the public's willingness to buy what Steve Harvey is selling. Mainstream corporate entities, network executives, and major international sponsors are reportedly holding private meetings to assess the long-term viability of their association with a brand that is currently synonymous with high society escort rumors and underworld histories. The immediate fallout is manifesting in the corporate boardroom, where the stakes are incredibly high. For a global media figure like Steve, his likeness is a highly valuable asset that is tied to family-friendly television networks, daytime syndication deals, and lucrative branding partnerships. According to unverified insider reports circulating within the industry commentary space, several high-profile corporate sponsors have quietly requested clarity from Steve's management team regarding the stability of his personal brand. When a public figure who anchors primetime family television becomes the primary target of intense, daily investigative breakdowns regarding a managed marriage, corporate legal teams start looking for exit clauses in their endorsement contracts. The threat of financial destabilization is creating a palpable sense of urgency within the Harvey camp. The public is beginning to witness the subtle shifting of corporate alignments, with certain media platforms allegedly scaling back on the promotion of Steve's upcoming projects. Independent media analysts are pointing out that in the modern entertainment landscape, corporations do not wait for official confirmation or legal verdicts to protect their financial interests. The mere presence of sustained, toxic digital discourse is often enough to trigger a corporate freeze, leading to a quiet reduction in advertising revenue and a slow withdrawal of mainstream corporate backing. Furthermore, the hypothetical threat of official regulatory or legal inquiries is looming large in the background of this scandal. While the rumors surrounding Marjorie Harvey's past remain unverified internet lore, the constant invocation of her historical ties to federal investigations and asset seizures from the 90s has created a highly volatile environment. Digital commentators are speculating that the persistent focus on the couple's financial structures, combined with the public scrutiny of their luxury lifestyle and charitable foundations, could accidentally invite unwanted attention from financial oversight entities. When the internet starts digging into the financial mechanics of a multi-millionaire's estate, the risk of a formal financial audit or asset probe increases exponentially. The internal pressure within the Harvey household is reportedly resulting in a total breakdown of their traditional operational strategies. Sources close to the production teams of Steve's various media ventures have dropped hints that the mood on set has become completely toxic. The polished, charismatic mentor who effortlessly commands the stage is allegedly replaced by a highly stressed executive who is constantly monitoring social media metrics and demanding updates on the suppression of viral commentary. This internal chaos is a direct consequence of a man realizing that his 20-year effort to build a clean, bulletproof legacy can be completely dismantled by a single, unscripted internet event. The public backlash is also manifesting as a severe crisis of credibility for Steve's established body of work as a relationship counselor. For decades, he generated massive revenue streams from books, seminars, and television segments dedicated to teaching women how to find and maintain a respectable, traditional marriage. The current scandal has effectively weaponized his own advice against him, with millions of viewers using his past statements to highlight the alleged hypocrisy of his current domestic situation. The commercial market for his relationship expertise has completely dried up, as consumers are flatly refusing to take moral or marital guidance from a man whose own home life is being described as a tightly controlled corporate transaction. The professional isolation of Steve Harvey within the entertainment community is another major consequence of this ongoing disaster. In the cutthroat world of Hollywood, loyalty is entirely dependent on marketability. As the escort rumors and material theft allegations continue to dominate the cultural conversation, fellow comedians, daytime talk hosts, and industry peers are actively choosing to remain completely silent. The lack of public defense from Steve's longtime industry friends is incredibly telling, signaling to the digital audience that the industry elite view his current situation as a radioactive hazard that could contaminate anyone who steps forward to offer support. The cultural narrative has shifted so dramatically that even Steve's past legal victories and strategic public relations campaigns are losing their efficacy. Every single piece of content he releases, whether it is a motivational speech, a clip from his game show, or a casual family photograph, is immediately flooded with thousands of mocking comments referencing Katt Williams, receipts, and the alleged program. The ability of the Harvey brand to control its own narrative has been completely neutralized, leaving them entirely at the mercy of a highly cynical digital public that is determined to see the final collapse of a curated Hollywood illusion. This brings us to the ultimate strategic dilemma facing the couple as they contemplate their next move in this high-stakes game of reputational survival. The strategy of silent dismissal has completely failed to contain the fire, while the strategy of emotional podcast responses has only provided viral commentary channels with more raw material to dissect and mock. The Harvey empire is caught in a classic public relations trap, where every single action they take amplifies the very controversy they are trying so desperately to bury, creating a perpetual cycle of negative exposure that is slowly draining the brand of its commercial power. As the financial and social consequences continue to accumulate, the long-term impact on Steve's legacy is becoming devastatingly clear. He is facing the reality of a career that may conclude not with a celebrated retirement and a pristine legacy, but with a highly public, deeply embarrassing dispute over the authenticity of his entire life story. The narrative of the self-made, God-fearing family man has been replaced by a much darker, far more intriguing story of an industry veteran who allegedly sacrificed his personal autonomy and professional integrity to maintain a fabricated image of success. The digital audience remains completely transfixed by this ongoing corporate and personal collapse, recognizing that they are witnessing a historic turning point in the relationship between mainstream celebrities and independent media consumers. The power dynamic has completely inverted, proving that a multi-million-dollar public relations apparatus is no match for a decentralized network of independent researchers armed with public records and viral commentary techniques. The cracks in the foundation of the Harvey empire are widening by the hour, and the structural damage is rapidly becoming completely irreversible as we approach the final, dramatic evaluation of this massive cultural fallout. This entire situation has officially proven that no matter how much money you have, and no matter how many powerful public relations teams you employ, you simply cannot completely erase your past in the digital age. The curtain has been pulled back on the Harvey empire, and the world is finally seeing the massive cracks in the foundation of this carefully manufactured Hollywood illusion. Now the ultimate question rests with you. Do you believe that Katt Williams exposed a deeply guarded industry secret about the true nature of Steve and Marjorie's marriage? Or do you think this is just a highly coordinated, incredibly toxic smear campaign designed to destroy a legendary entertainer's family legacy? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below, and let me know exactly where you stand on this crazy situation. Are you Team Katt, or are you still standing with Steve and Marjorie through all this absolute chaos? If you want to stay completely ahead of the game and get the raw, unfiltered truth on the biggest industry exposes before anyone else, make sure to hit that like button right now. Do not forget to share this video with your friends and subscribe to Star Watch for more deep dive investigations into the hidden realities of your favorite celebrities. Thank you for watching, keep your eyes wide open, and we will see you in the next breakdown.